This easy German apricot crumb cake with cherries is an amazing coffee cake for summer, made with fresh apricots and a buttery crumble topping. This cake has so many elements. It's juicy, it's light and tender in texture, having a buttery flavor and has a touch of summer bliss. So without further ado, let's get started with the recipe. So for this cake you need apricots and cherries. So you can either halfen the cherry or you can just put a cut and take out the pit out of it. And this is how you halfen the apricot. I'll show you how I did it. Just put a cut in the center of the apricot. Give it a soft twist and here you go. Just with the help of a knife or your finger, take out the rock and you're good to go. Similarly, you can do the same thing with the cherries. Just put a cut in the center. Now you can keep it as a whole and just take out the pit and use the cherry as it is, or you can also halfen the cherry in two parts like this. Okay, and now I'm going to sift my dry ingredients: the flour, the baking powder and the salt. I'm using pink Himalayan salt here. You can use any salt, whatever you have at home. Now this is the first step for this cake, that do sift the flour and the baking powder. Now just give it a mix with a wire whisk and you're good to go. And now we are going to prepare our wet ingredients. And now we'll take another bowl and we'll add our caster sugar in this. We are going to flavor our sugar with some lemon zest. Just grate the yellow part of the lemon, that is the zest of the lemon. Do not use the white part, that is going to make the cake bitter. Now just press it with a fork. You can also use your fingers. We just want that the lemon flavor is totally engrossed in the sugar. And here goes the soft butter. Now this is the second tip to make this cake as a perfect one, that use soft butter for the cake batter. Just remember that you have to use the softened butter for the cake batter. Just beat it until it's light and fluffy, like you can see it here. And now is the time to add the eggs. We are going to add 2 eggs, and remember to add one at a time. Add 1 egg, mix in between and then add another egg. This is the second tip for this cake, that add egg one by one. Do not add the eggs together. Give it a good scrape with your silicone spatula and add some yogurt into this. I'm using homemade curd, and here goes the vanilla extract, and start beating it again. Now another tip is that all the ingredients should be at the room temperature. Do not use anything that has different temperature. So everything should be at the same temperature, and most probably the room temperature. Time to add the dry ingredients. And now I'm going to keep away my hand mixer and I'm going to use a spatula to mix the dry into the wet. And another tip for this cake is that to take care of the order of the ingredients. So cream, butter and sugar first, and then add 1 egg at a time, and then the curd and the vanilla, and finally the flour. Gently mix it with light hands. And now into this I'm adding some milk. So let's add some more milk into this. The batter is ready now, and now I'm using an 8-inch round springform pan. I would suggest you to go for 9-inch pan. The cake looks more beautiful in that, but it's okay if you don't have that. Just transfer all the batter in an 8-inch round spring-form pan that is lined with butter paper. Spread it evenly because this is a light and fluffy batter, so you'll have to do some handwork to even it from the surface. Okay, so now we'll be arranging our fruit over the batter. So in any form, it's like it depends upon you, whatever you want to do and however you want to line it. Just line the fruit on top of the batter in any way you like. Okay, so it's done. And now I'm going to prepare my streusel for this. And here goes the flour, the sugar. First of all, we are going to mix both of these together with a wire whisk. And now is the time to add butter into this. Now, another tip for your streusel, you don't have to use the soft butter. Use cold butter for the streusel. And now with the help of this pastry cutter, I'm going to mix the butter and the flour. If you don't have this pastry cutter, you can use your food processor or even your hands to mix this. So see, let me just remove this from the cutter. Okay, now I'll use my spatula to mix it roughly. So now the streusel is ready and I'm going to top my cake with this streusel. Try to be as even as you can. Now you don't have to press this streusel over the cake batter. You just have to sprinkle it and let it loose over it. You don't have to press it. So all the streusel has been sprinkled over the cake. And now I'm going to bake this at 170 degrees Celsius, preheated oven at 170 degrees Celsius for about 55 to 60 minutes. But start keeping a check after 45 or 50 minutes. So our cake is done after 60 minutes. Let it cool down briefly for 10-15 minutes and then we will remove it from the mold. Okay, so cake is cool now. Let me just open this pan. Here goes the butter paper. And our cake, here it is. This is such a beautiful cake. Now you can have it as it is, or you can also sprinkle some icing sugar over it. Now this time I don't want my cake to be sprinkled with icing sugar, so I'll be cutting it the way it is. So let me just take it out from this pan and put it on my wooden platter. Okay, here it goes. Now see, the crumble provides a nice crunch and lends an interesting texture to this cake. It looks so beautiful with this streusel, the crumb. So let's see it from inside. I know you're going to like it. In fact, love it. Do try this cake. I'm a bit late in posting this cake, but the summer fruits are still in the market and they are soon going to go. So do not waste your time like I have done in posting this video, and try to bake this cake because this is going to be one of the yummiest summer cakes ever. See, can you see those yellow apricots and the red cherries peeping out of this cake slice? And that brown crust at the bottom. I'm loving this cake. And I know you people are also going to love this. See, the best part of this cake is the crumble topping. So do try this cake and do let me know how it turned out for you. One of the yummiest summer cakes ever I've made. So thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you like it and you will try it. And if you try it, do not forget to share the pictures with me on my Instagram, Deepali Ohri. So until we meet again, take good care of yourself and happy baking.